my lovelies. It's so good to get again to see you on video.
Hello, my sunshine.
We knew how much you absolutely loved the economic videos that you got to watch on My Big Campus. So we figured, hey, how about we make another video just
you're pumped
for you?
Right now.
I know, very
excited.
excited. Yes.
What you're going to do is you're going to watch this video on mummification and the process of mummification and how it all worked. Then you're going to take the information and your handy dandy pencil and your piece of notebook paper, and you're going to write down 20 steps in sequential order of things you noticed that I was doing to the mummy during this portion of the video.
The cool part about it being on a video is if you get done and you only have 18, you can go back and you can watch it. This will be in a couple segments because YouTube doesn't let us have a video this long. So you can go back if you need to segment 1 or segment 2 so that you can get all 20 facts.
Remember, on Thursday you're going to have this completed because we're going to do something in class with it. So make sure you watch it all the way to the end and have your 20 facts with you.
It's going to be way difficult, if not almost impossible, if you don't have your 20 facts.
Oh. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I've been a little these days.
Are you okay?
Are you telling me I don't look good?
No, you don't.
Wait, what? Do I look okay?
Are you feeling okay?
Are you sure? I think.
I don't think she's breathing. No. Well, luckily you may not know this, but in my previous life, I was an embalmer. And I want to preserve Mrs. Degoulas as long as I possibly can, because I could put her in my room and put her in the corner, and there would be the image of Mrs. Degoulas. So don't you worry. I'm going to take you step by step of what would have happened 4,000 years ago to a pharaoh once they passed away.
Because I'm pretty powerful, a lot like the pharaohs.
The first step that they did once they collected the body was they had to clean the body. Now, I'm going to treat Mrs. Degoulas pretty nice, and I got her some Irish Spring yummy smelling stuff.
But I don't need to be cleaned. I don't stink.
You're dirty.
No.
So the first step was to clean the body and wash it completely and totally up. All parts of the body, scrub, and clean it up so that she was nice and clean for this process. Not saying she's not going to get dirty here in just a second, but at least we've started off with a clean product. You know, she's been hanging out with you kids all day long. Now,
dirty.
The second step was she was actually taken to the official embalmer, and this was some serious stuff that happened in here. Because as you can imagine, if we just put her body in some linen right now, a lot of stuff would start decaying and maybe attracting other animals and start to smell. So we had to get rid of a lot of the stuff. The first thing that you had to do, just close your eyes. You're not here. You're not here. Close your eyes. The first thing you had to do was cut a nice long slit, in the belly area. I know. She's trusting you with a dangerous tool, and you cut it won't hurt. Just hold still. You cut a nice, strong slit. Just hold on 1 second. In the belly area.
That's a good thing I did.
Now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start removing organs.
Oh, wait.
You're not here.
No.
You're not here.
She can't take my organs.
We're going to start removing organs.
No, she can't take. You need to stop.
Now, what they did was they would take these organs and you wanted to preserve them. A few of them. Some of them we didn't preserve. Some of them we left in her body for a certain reason. But a lot of them, we have these nice little jars that they used, known as Cannabis jars, and they would put the organs in here, and these would also go to the pyramid with her, because she'll probably need her organs, for the afterlife or something like that.
They're kind of important like that.
They are kind of important like that. So the first one that I want to talk about that's not actually in that slit is her brains. Now, we all know that brains you need to have. They're the main function that runs your whole entire body and all of its systems.
You learned that in health class with Mr. Etter.
I'm sure Mr. Etter taught you that. Now, the problem is, back in ancient Egypt, they didn't know that. They thought the brains were nothing and they were a waste. And they actually didn't put them in one of these fancy schmancy jars to save for the pyramid. They threw them away. That's exactly right.
Waste.
They threw the brains away. Now, to get the brains out, we're not going to damage her head, because if we damage her head, first of all, like we would want to damage Mrs. DeGaule's
No
head.
kidding.
But the problem is we wanted to keep like this because eventually at the end her spirit's going to have to be able to find its body again. We'll get to that later on. And the spirit has to recognize the person that it came from, the Ka spirit. So what they did was they took a long tool like this.
No.
Ooh, look at, yes, you can only imagine what this is going to do. They took a long tool like this. Now before I start this, I would please like to say, this is one of those opportunities where you should not try this at home.
No.
This is not trying at home. Anything Mrs. DeGaule and Sarah are doing right now, you do not try at home.
No.
We are trained mummy professionals.
Or she thinks.
I am.
Oh,
I'm
no.
totally trained. You guys can all sense it right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this up your nose, because that was a direct line. I'm going to put my bucket over here. That was the direct line to the brains. So you're going to stick this up in the nose. Now, her brains would be kind of hard to get out, so once they got this all the way up in the nose, I'm going to show you outside, they would jiggle it around, kind of liquefying those brains, which made it a lot easier. They would eventually, don't get scared, it's okay. They would eventually hook onto a tissue of the brain. Once they got it hooked on, then they would pull it back through the nose.
Out
and
through
then,
my nose.
I know. Is everybody doing okay? Don't even get sick on me right now. Then they would throw it away. So this is very simple procedure.
Oh,
very.
That's because she's not laying down here.
Very simple procedure. Are you ready? I'm going to go up through her nose. I'm going to swoosh it around. And then I am going to latch on some brains. I know this might be hard for many of you to believe, but there are lots of brains up there to latch onto.
No, it's not hard to believe.
Latch onto some brains and pull the brains out. Now look at these brains. Look at your brains.
Yay!
There's
There's got to be way more than that in
knowledge. There actually
There's
was.
way more. Okay,
now,
good.
remember, they thought this stuff was useless, so they literally just threw it away.
That is
and
a
they would
waste of
just
a good brain.
continue going up through the nose, jiggling it around, latching onto some brains, and then pulling it back out through the nose, back out through the nose, and then throwing it away.
I got some brain on me.
You got some brain
Thank
on
you.
you. I told you that. I cleaned you, but you wouldn't stay clean.
Okay.
So they would do that the whole entire time until that cavity was completely empty.
And that took a long time to me. Because I have a big brain.
That was big. We don't have time for that.
Yes.
Okay, the next part is that they had to take out all the organs that were here. Now, you know how they thought the brains were useless, even though we know the brains are very important today? What they thought was the brains, also known as the brains, was the heart. They thought the heart was the center of the body that did every function. So they actually will leave your heart inside your body.
We'll come back to that a little, because that comes in way later on.
Heart's
very important.
Okay, so they went in and they started to take out things like your intestines. Now, I know that sounds kind of gross, but they have to take out those body parts or else they're going to start stinking, start decaying. So they go in there and they scoop and they scoop and they scoop and they start pulling out intestines. Oh, your intestines.
Good.
And pulling out intestines. This is what our intestines look like. Now, your intestines are actually pretty long when you think about your small and large intestines.
Yeah.
And they would pull those things all the way out and put them in a falcon-headed canopic jar.
See the falcon head?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a god who starts with a Q, and it's way intense, so we really can't remember how to pronounce it. But yes,
intense,
that's where my intestines go.
Did you want to try your intestines?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Now, actually, to tell you the truth, they would also put these in salt. We're going to talk about salt later on and stuff we're going to do with her body. They would actually put these in salt, too, to dry them completely out. Because you don't want your organs to be all wet and gooey like we're going to have Mrs. DeGaule. So wet, gooey. She's got blood. She's got fluid in there. So they would actually dry those out, too. The next thing that they would take
my
out
intestines. Okay. It's feeling a
was
little light.
your lungs.
Feel a little light.
Was your lungs. And they would reach into your body and they would look for your lungs. And the lungs actually are going to go into a baboon canopic jar.
See the baboon
Sorry,
there?
it's a little hard to see. The baboon
There's the
canopic
baboon
jar.
head, yes.
And they would reach in and they would pull out the lungs. I know you can't see it. Nice lungs there. And they would put that into the canopic jar. Same concept. They would put salt on it like we're going to talk about with her body to completely and totally dry it out.
Yes.
The next thing that they did was her liver. And her liver went into the human head Canapic jar.
See the human head there? A little tricky to see, but this looks more like your typical mummy, what you guys are used to seeing. So this is where my liver is going to go. Now, if you remember from health class, you know the liver is a rather large, very red organ because of all the blood supply there. So she's got to dig a little bit, though, to get my liver.
Don't worry, I can dig.
Okay, I think she's good. I think she found it.
Oh my!
Wow! I got a big liver.
Yours is very, very healthy. Look at that healthy liver you got going on.
Good job, liver.
But actually, I don't think it's gonna fit in here.
Okay, but we'll just pretend.
We'll try.
Yes.
Okay. The next one is our stomach, and this is. This is our stomach that's getting ready to come out. This is an Jackal head Canapic jar.
Yes.
Let me find it. Here's
your stomach.
There
it is. Yes.
And all of these in the Canapic jar. So those were the 4 basic organs that they took out. So they took out her brain. They threw that away. Remember, that was useless.
I don't know what they were thinking there.
Her heart staying in her body because we're going to. That's the main part. That's going to become important here at the end. They threw out her intestines. Sorry, they put her intestines, her liver, her lungs, and her stomach in the Canapic jars, and they're going to dry those out, which we're going to talk about here in just a second.
Okay, so I'm feeling a little hollow.
You are feeling a little bit of hollow.
Yeah.
We're going to stop there. We're going to pause so that this video can be downloaded to YouTube and get ready for the second video coming at you, Sunshines.
Oh, I know you can't wait.
I know.
See you in a bit.